Hey everyone, Consider here. TBC is around the corner, pre-patch is already live, everyone's trying to prepare and farm honor. So I wanted to use the time to quickly introduce our guide, our add-on, for you guys to prepare a bunch of quests and get ready for TBC. Instantly reach up to level 63 even, with just minimal time when TBC launches. It takes quite a lot of time to prepare actually, but let's get right into it. So our add-on has two parts, and before I go into the two parts, I want to just give a quick shout out to one of our guildies who helped me during this whole add-on to prepare everything and to develop the whole UI that you can see in a bit, which is Pava. Helped shit on answering you guys in our support channel, and as said, was responsible for the whole UI, and also Chris, who helped a bunch on all the testing, made sure that everything's working, and tried out stuff and quests with us together. Now, when I say add-on and guide, it is two things that we have. You can already see on the left side here the RXP add-on. RXP is an add-on that is free to download, and they also made it possible to create custom guides. So we created our custom preparation guide in this add-on, and made sure that everything is covered in there in terms of pre-questing. So if you go in RXP, when you have our add-on installed, you have all the parts that you need to prepare and go through everything. A little introduction which tells you a little bit about the guide. We have 3 routes which I come to in a bit more in detail, and here you can see everything is covered from just basic quests to the dungeons to the raids. The whole preparation will be done. Also item preparation, which will be handled completely in our UI just to be a bit have a bit better overview. And then obviously one of the most important parts, the turn-in guide. Yeah, so if you wanna then, if TBC launches, you wanna turn in everything, this will guide you through the whole route to not miss out on any quests, yeah, to not miss out anything, to accept turn-in whatsoever. And then at the end we have a little bonus. Yeah, we added a TBC dungeon grind, which was made by other content creators. I will link it down in the description. Um, and we just took over that spreadsheet and realized it in the RXP guide to help you guys. This will get you to revert with all factions, so you have heroic access. This will do the Karasen attunement. This will do Alcatraz key, and it will also give you Shattered Halls key. You can skip some parts of it, but everything is included here. So this to the RXP guide, which was probably a lot of the time invested into getting this whole thing running. And then we have our whole UI. If you type /tbc or /tbc prep, you can open our little UI window, and then you will get presented with our quest log. If you open it for the first time, let me just debug the routes real quick. /tbc prep debug wipe route. You don't need to do that. That is basically just for us, or like for you as well, if you want to do that, to reset the whole route. And then you can do the selection from the beginning. You can see our descriptions again. I just included it now since people asked me about this as well, but this is usually not needed. Now, if we go back into TBC, you have now first of the overview. Yeah, and here are the 3 routes that I mentioned. We have a Stratholme route, which does dungeons on launch. We have a main route that is just groups which need summons and mage portals. And then we have a solo route. The solo route is completely doable by yourself. You don't need any portals, you don't need any summons. We have here also then mentioned solo route, max possible is 62 and 71% into it. It takes about 98 minutes since there's a lot of flying around, but it's still worth it. Main route is 62 and 80%, so it's not even that much more, but it's quite a lot faster since we use summons and mages. And then the Stratholme route, which is basically our biggest one, it can reach you far into level 63 already. The time is only an estimate depending on how quickly you can clear everything, so it is completely then up to you if you want to do that or rather want to go with the main route without the dungeon. We have covered both versions. Everything is in there. And just in terms of how do we calculate what's worse? So we had TBC already. This is not the first time, and we had all that preparation stuff. We had the dungeon grind. So we calculated based on the previous dungeon grind what was possible, how long it took, and it was roughly, I think, 2,500 XP per minute that we calculated, and that is that whole efficiency of the experience and the route based on. Yeah, so if we include it, it's at least 2,500 per minute or better. Yeah, so you know at some point where to orientate on, because some people took our guide and said it's not worth to do that, it's not worth to do that. They don't know what's behind it. Yeah, so just for you as a background information. Now let's jump in. I'll just select the strat route. On this character I actually prepared another route, but doesn't matter. So first off, quest log is the first tab, and here you can see all the quests that you want to have in your quest log on launch. Yeah, on the left side, this is our most efficient quest that you can see here, and you can already see I have covered, or like I've done quite a lot of them, 4 of them already on this character. So I need to choose 4 other quests. Yeah. For this, we have included the optional quests. So this is also quest log quests, so quests that need to stay in your quest log in order to turn them in efficiently. And those are here on the right side. You don't need to prepare them if you have enough on the left side that you prepared already. Now you can see different colors here already as well. So let me quickly go over them while we are at it. So green in my scene means it's done. We have a yellow one. It is done. The item is in the bank. We are ready to go. Then the blue one means it's not done. It can be picked up. Yeah. And then we have red, obviously means I've done this quest already. And over here you can see one quest that is gray, which means I ignored it. Ignored quests will be covered later. I'll just go over them quickly. But you can also see that this quest and the 2 quests down here have stars. So what does this mean? This quest is usually a quest log quest again. Quest log quest in general. But I know that I will never be able to do AQ 40, or at least not get the eye from AQ 40 since it's a bit too late. Everyone wants to hunt it. So I just said to myself, I don't want to do that quest. So I can remove it from the quest log. I can ignore the quest, and then it shows up over here, and I can set any other quest over, right? Because I have only 24 out of 25. I just take the next best quest that I want to do, set it as quest log, and then it will be listed here on that quest log side. Now this is not only used for your overview, this is also then used for our warnings, which I will cover in the settings later. Yeah, so the best is make sure you set everything up like what you want to do, so you don't run into any issues or you lose the overview. Now let's jump over to the quest tab, because this is a lot more. Here in the strat route you can see we have a total of 199 quests to prepare. I know that is over 200 actually, but since I've done quests already, you can see here, you can see down here I've done some quests, so they will not get counted in the maximum that I can do. Now here is just all the quests listed that are relevant for your route on launch. Right, so this is everything that's relevant for you. We have the turn-in quests, we have reputation quests where you need the specific reputations, we have expensive quests which are just listed because they are very expensive, like this Abyssal Scepter. It costs between 400 and 700 gold on our server. We have here some Arcanite bars, Frozen Runes. So we just listed them expensive because some people don't have that much money when they have a fresh character and want to prepare. Then we have the quest log quests here as an overview included as well. And we have item quests. So this is all the quests that are related to any kind of items. Yeah, so again, down here, one more excluded because this is from a world boss. As you can see, you can do the same here. Yeah, so you can do the ignore quest here. You can do the ignore stuff here. Everything is working together. When you're ignoring them, or when you've done them, they will not get calculated here in the top. Yeah, so I just say of love and family, it goes down, my XP goes down as well, because I prepared it already. That comes to the XP bar here as well already. This bar shows you what you will get. So don't take this as a 100%. Some XP calculation might be off since we also have some scaling PvP quests inside. Yeah, so please don't hold us on this one, yeah. But this gives you a pretty good estimation of what level you will hit once you do the whole turn-in guide and at what step you are currently at. So you can be sure if you turn, or like if you do this right now, I'm definitely gonna hit 62 and most likely over half of it. Yeah, it might be off by a few percent. If you collapse those whole categories, it will just exclude them completely from the XP. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. So if you have anything collapsed here, it will not get calculated for your XP anymore. Now, next one, items. So this is a huge one, which is also important because, as I said earlier, in our RXP guide, we don't have the item preparation in. I just basically link you to the TBC prep and say, hey, please check here what items you need. One of the most important things, please keep this relevant check mark on. If you exclude this, this will just take all the items that are in the guide. It will not care if you ignored quests. You can see here now the eye is in again. It will not care if you have the reputation for it. So make sure this is on, and then you know exactly which items you still need to prepare if you go for that specific route. For the items, we also wanted to make sure that we can send it over to a old, and we also can store it in the bank. So you can see if it's in the bank, you can see if it's in the inventory, then it's just green, and you can also see if it's on a bank character. How do I put it on the bank? Just right click the item, type in the name, where it's at, if it's in the mailbox of yourself, if it's on your alt, and then you mark the item as collected, and it will get check marked to the right side, and it will count for your quests also as completed. Alright, you can see here I have a bunch of quests down here which are for the items, and here it is, for example, it says it's on my alt, but it is completed. Now maybe also quickly show that at the top here it's a bit small, but we have the search function here, right? So if I want to look for anything, then I can just type it in, it will search immediately, and you can see exactly what you're looking for. This works in the quest tab as well as here. And in addition, we also added some comments and maybe sources where to get certain stuff. Yeah, so if it can be bought in the auction house, for which quest it's needed, and wherever you can get it. Yeah, like all the information that we found about certain things, just to make your life a bit easier and to prepare as quickly and as efficient as you can. Alright, then let's go over to the route tab and have a look at that. So in the route tab, you have an overview over the whole route that we will do during our turn-in. Here in the top, you can select the different routes again. I'll just go back to main route since that is the initial route that I planned for this character. And yeah, here you can see everything. You can see already here the first summon, when you need to place your summon characters, where you need to place your portal, your mages, and this goes through everything. You also see where you turn in stuff, and also the pickup stuff. The pickup stuff is a little bit funky because it's based on our data in our spreadsheet, so I wouldn't rely on it too much. We have that check mark for the pickups up here. Also the disclaimer, it's not really an order and it's not sorted 100%. This was just as initial help to have a little bit better overview since we didn't have the turn-in guide available yet. Yeah, at the bottom you can also then see the estimated time. You can deselect some sections and you can see how the time changes. Yeah, this is more just a little gimmick where you can play around if you want to plan your route, if you want to see the actual time that you will have to use in the end. Now let's go over to the extras. The extras tab, this is a lot of funky stuff that we have here. First of all, maybe just go over some basics. We have some of the classic items that you should or can prepare, either be it for speedrunning or be it for gimmicks, PvP, whatsoever. We included the pre-quests here as well, so you can see where you have to pick up the next step, just to help you guys a little bit on those, as you might want to get them on the new character as well. Then we have a flight checker. So here we have a flight checker to see which flight pass you might be missing. This shows all the flight passes that you have, and Obviously, the one that is missing here would be for me the Sanctuary Flight Pass, because it just came new with a TBC pre-patch. So make sure you grab that one. It is needed in all of our routes. And Professions tab. So the Professions tab just lists the professions that are useful for you, how you can benefit from them, right? So we have the chicken, the energy boots, dummies, and so on for engineering. Blacksmithing on the warrior. It is basically the biz weapons that you can get for the first phases, and some secondary professions. So comments to every class, every spec, everything is included here. But now let's get to the two extras that are actually relevant for our preparation. And first one would be the extra TBC prep over here in the left side corner, which gives you the option to include a bunch of new quests. Scepter of the Sands quest line, we have some blacksmithing options, and we also have a quest sharing option where you can share the old Battleground Mark quest and share them over to that character that you want to turn it in to get an additional 32,000 experience. You can check that, then it will appear over here in your quest tab. You get the counter up, it will get calculated for your quest experience as well. Yeah, so this is all integrated. If we enable that, you can see it in the chat, which is blurred for our video, but you can see in the chat that it's adding all of those quests. And then I can check in the quest log, for example, for the blacksmithing ones. Those are pretty good experience quests that you can do, where you have to get some of the stuff. Keep in mind though that this extra tab here is not fully included in our turn-in guide, and you will have to plan that for yourself. I might get over some of the quests and actually include them, but just plan with none of the quests being included in that. So just as a quick disclaimer here. Now, probably the biggest feature that we have for our turn-in guide, which is recommended to use to just make sure you don't forget anything, is our little companion. Now, this companion is used to make sure that you have all the items for all the quests that you want to turn in or have prepared. The initial step, 1 out of 9, is the bags. So those are the items you should have on your bag whenever you start our guide, whenever you start our turn-in. You can enable the companion either with clicking that toggle companion window. You can type in chat /TBC companion, and you can find a mailbox button down here on launch. We'll make sure that it's working due to the new add-on changes and UI changes. A lot of funky stuff is going on, but there is going to be a button down here. There is going to be a button if you check your bank, so you can just click that easily. Now, you already saw that it switched over to step 5. The reason is we have obviously zones zone requirements for the steps, and whenever you reach that zone, it will automatically jump to that specific part, so you don't have to look it up on your own. Now here I was supposed to pick up all of the cloths for the cloth turn-ins. I obviously don't have it in my mailbox right now, so I can't show, but you just click the mailbox, you click the collect button, and then it will take out specifically only those cloth items. Yeah, doesn't matter what else you have in your mailbox, it will only take those cloth items. It might take a bit, especially on launch with the lag, so please give it a bit of time so it can loop through everything. But now a big requirement, a big condition here that we have to make sure if you want to use that companion and if you want to use our feature, to make sure that it's working 100%. Yeah, just showing you all the steps here. If you have bind on pickup items, so everything that is soulbound to your character already, please make sure they are either in your bag already or they are in your bank. And the same goes for your BOE items, so anything that is bind on equip or not soulbound at all, like cloth for example, make sure it's either in your bag or in your mailbox. In total, we need 40 slots free in your bags, so keep that in mind. when you prepare everything. That's why we generally say BOE non-soulbound items, send them via mail for launch. Everything that's pop, make sure it's in the bank and just prepare those items that you see in the initial step in your bags. Nothing else. You can have a bunch of consumables in, yeah, if you need that stuff, and make sure you have 40 slots open. If we go to our Arrested XP guide again, I'll quickly open the turn-in guide. You can also see that as a big requirement here. Yeah, we always require for our strat route to have Hearthstone, Lights Hope Chapel, and make sure you have 40 free bag slots. If you want to use our companion, all BOE items should be sent and ready in your mailbox, and everything that is pop should be either on your character or in your bank. You can open the companion with /TBC companion. Every time we have to collect something, hold on. Now where did it jump to now? Oh, sorry, it's already here. Just the stuff at the top is still visible because of the condition. You have to make sure that you accept that stuff, so it goes away. But all of the steps are open your mailbox, go there, /type TBC companion or click the icon, and then once done, you just check it okay, and it will go to the next step. If you do that manually, that's on you. We can only help you with that companion, but then please make sure to do the requirements, as we do not want to be responsible for your loss of time or for your loss of items. So please make sure to have done that. Let's disable all of that again and quickly go over the last parts. We have some settings here. A bunch of warnings when you pick up a quest. So here we can also see quest log and optional quest again. That is what I mentioned earlier. Depending on how you set up your quest, it's going to be a quest log optional quest, and that will also switch the warning around. We have a turn in warning quest. You shouldn't turn in that quest. We have a completion warning that will actually prevent you to hand in any quests if you try to do so. Also here, a quick disclaimer, as we had it happen to us and to other people in our Discord already. If you have Questy, if you have RXP auto turn-in, if you have Leatrix auto turn-in, those might go through our prevent function. They might be quicker, we don't know really what it depends on, if it's just a server tick, if it's which add-on goes first, no idea. Make sure if you are doing our guide and if you're doing the preparation to not have any add-ons active that handle quests automatically, just to prevent your own loss of experience there. We have a setting for the item tooltips to just show you if they are used in your route or not. You can switch the sounds around. And then we have the themes. Usually it's on the default. I would recommend you guys to go for distinct, as it's a bit more visually selective. And then we have a bunch of themes that are good for colorblind people. We had one person asking for colorblind help, as our theme was really not that helpful, at least the initial one. But those should help then if you are colorblind, to help you a little bit to understand what the different colors mean. Alright, and then last one, about section. Not much in there. You can see the version might not be 100% updated all the time. Addon was created by me and Pavaox. Again, huge thank you, Pava, for doing the whole UI, doing the whole work together, going through all the routes. He was also the person who was running from A to B to calculate exactly the time that we need in order if the quest is worth it or not. So we ran each and every quest, each and every pass, in order to make sure it is efficient enough to do so. Our guide is only for Horde characters, as we did already invest thousands of hours into this, and we do not have the time nor want to do the Alliance part. So sorry about that. And then our Discord link, if you want to hop in, say thank you, have any questions, whatever, feel free. And yeah, special thanks to you guys if you use our guide, if that guide is any helpful for you. Then that's it, basically. Make sure you get ready for TBC. Make sure you prep as much as you want. Again, I want to make this very clear, as there is also a bunch of Redditors, right, that go on and say, you shouldn't prep this much and you're a sweat and whatsoever. Guys, do as much as you want to do. Prep as much as you want to do. This is your time. This is your game. If you want to prep everything, prep everything. If you want to prep 10 quests, you prep 10 quests. It does not matter, yeah? Just do whatever you want. You can skip through quests. We have the overview of our guide for this if you want to just prep a few of them. And then just blast, yeah? Hope you guys have fun in TBC. Hope you guys enjoy it. And get ready. Don't get stuck in slave pens for too long. And that's it then for me. Hope I can see you guys around in TBC. Make sure to say hi. And thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for using our add-on. Have a good one. Peace.